All right, so as I alluded to earlier, I mentioned that we can also not just go for one color in our pattern, we could actually change colors after each shape or even after each line. But let's start with after each shape. So I'm going to change pen color by an amount after we've drawn each shape. So this code here is drawing the shape, and after I've done it, so it's going to be in this loop here, we're going to change our pen color. Only by 10, but let's see what we get. All right, so you can see we start with a green, we slowly come into a blue before moving into a purple and coming back to a red. Let's do that again. So each of our hexagons changes color just slightly, only by 10. Let's do it by a smaller amount. Let's do it by 1 and see what we get. So we start with that green because we've got set pen color to green up here. And we've got a subtle change. Probably it's hard to see in the video. I can just about see it on my screen. Let's try changing it by a large amount, like 100. What do we get? Not much change at all. Let's try an even bigger number, 200. A slight change. What about 300? Bit more of a change. Now that's because, now I thought it was up to 200, but let's see. If I put 50, do I get a two-tone? Let's see. Pretty much. Okay, so it looks like the colors range between 0 and 100, with 100 being pretty much what you started with, but not exactly. You see how it changed very, very slightly from green to brown. So here I put 50. So what I'm seeing essentially is green, and then halfway different to green is purple. Now, if that doesn't make sense, don't worry. But there's basically a scale of all the colors stretched out in a line, and then numbers 0 to 1 underneath them. Let me see if I can draw you a quick picture to help you understand what that's happening. So let's say, here we go. I'm going to draw a few different colors here. Let's get these up. So let's start with a red. So let's say we've got red and orange here, and a lighter orange here still, with a yellow and a green, darker green, blue. So this is kind of the colors of the rainbow as they come across here. And this will be helpful for understanding how computers deal with colors. Now in a computer, everything needs to be a number. So the way Scratch does it is it says, right, here's all the colors. Now this is going to be 0. And this is 1, and that's 2, and that's 3, and that's 4, and that's 5, and that's 6, and that's 7, and so on, all the way up to, in this case, 100. Okay? So every color has a number, and that means I can also add to these. Now the thing is, you have to remember that once I get to 100, I'm coming right back round to the start again. So if I go 101, it's the same as being here. If I say 110, it's the same as being here. So if I start here and I add, I don't know, 50, then I should end up about here, because I've gone 50. Does that make sense? So we've got all of the colors laid out like this, and we've given them all a number, and that way we can add and take away colors to find the right color we need by using our numbers. You can think of these numbers a bit like a map in some ways, a bit like instructions to find the right color by giving it first a number. Okay, so let's jump back to Scratch now. All right, so you can play with that. That's going to be lots of fun for you to change your pen color during the pattern. But like I said, we don't have to do it just after each of our shapes. We could actually do it within. So after we've drawn each side of our shape, we could change our pen colour. I'm going to change this by 20, let's see. So here each of my hexagons has got different colours within it. After each side that I draw, I change colour. And again, by changing the number, we're going to get different patterns forming, different versions. Let's just change it by 1 here. So in each of my shapes, I'm very subtly changing colour. See if 5 will show it a bit better. Yep, you can see that look at this last one. Bring the mouse in here. If you can look at this last purple, you can see the last line is a lot lighter than the first one. Let's make it 8 or something like that. There we go, much more pronounced. Okay, so that's going to be really fun to play with. Changing pen colour, and of course we can change pen size, even within our pattern too. So let's just run this. We should start thin, but get thicker as we go. I'm going to just take out the change pen colour, maybe change my default colour to something else. Let's try that purple. Then I start thin but get thicker. Can you see how my first one down here is thinner than my last one? Let's do it by a bit more of a factor so that we see a big difference here. So we start thin, and quite quickly we become super thick. Can you see that? All right, I'm going to leave you to play with that. This one, I think the change pen size is not as fun and as useful as changing the pen colour. But your mileage may vary. You may enjoy that more.